Supposed to be recording the show, and as soon as you start, that's when all the trucks come out, all the noise hits. Um, Other than that, before that, nothing happened. Uh, so, if anything can go wrong, it's right when you're about to do something, or when people call you, they don't call you all day, and you go to sit down and relax, and they call you. It's like they have a GPS on your ass. I just got back from Panama and Costa Rica, right?
See,
And I had to cross back into the country, back into the United States. And you know what? It would have been faster if I probably crossed the border. Because when I crossed in the airport, they got my passport. They made sure I wasn't violent. They did all this check on me. They look at your bags. But if I went through the border, I probably would have got there faster in the United States. I probably would have got a swag bag with money and phones. And I didn't even get a swag bag at the airport. Uh, Actually, I went down to the border myself to see it. And I tried to cross in from Mexico to the United States to see how they do it. And they found out I was a U.S. citizen, and they blocked me from crossing the border. So, no, seriously, the airports are crazy. It's funny. Other countries will protect you from going into the border, but I just had to share this with you. Coming back, it's funny. You got to have your passports, got to have your documents, you got to check your luggage, X, Y, and Z, making it hard to get back in, and no free gifts. But if you're illegal, you can come through the border and you will get many gifts, swag bags, money, phones, hotel. I'm going to book my next travel with border control at the border. So that's my take on how crazy the U.S. is with its own citizens. But if you come here, even when I came as an immigrant as a child, Glenn, my family didn't get a swag bag, anything. I mean, we got gypped. This is not right. So anyway, uh, let's go on with what's been going on.
si, senor.
It has been, hi, everybody. Welcome. I had to go on my little rant and rave with Glenn about coming back to the USA. And I'm surprised they let me back in. But we went out to Costa Rica with the Maxwell Leadership Program and we introduced leadership transformation tables. And what's funny is we did this with the minute. Phone's ringing.
Who calls?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
Whatever. Giulio, take two. Let me turn this off. Who would be calling 4-3? Wonder if it's my IRS.
Yeah. Booty call.
How do you put this on airplane mode? You know what? I'm just going to put it out of the office mode. Hate technology. Here I am using it. All right. Focus. Out of the office. There you go. I can't bust my chops now, can I? If I got it that way?
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're good.
Well, anyway, welcome everybody, and welcome back to the Giulio Show. We took a little break, Glenn and I, for many reasons, and it started in 2023 when I found out my wife was expecting, and we were going to have a baby in August. And when that baby came along, and let me tell you, the labor pains were very, very difficult, and I had a hard time, but I did it. No, I give credit to many women out there who are having babies. My God, men could never survive that. But some men claim they can, but they're full of crap. But anyway, I'm grateful for a baby girl. Her name is Evangelina. So we stopped taping for a little while, but as we got into the rhythm of having a new child and my first girl, the sleepless nights that you're trying to get used to, there was no way we could do some podcasts without me falling asleep on you. And so many things have happened. But it gave me some time. It gave me time to catch up on all books that I had pending to finish throughout the years. So it gave me time to focus on that, work from home, which was difficult because I tried to take paternity leave. But they wouldn't let me take maternity. So I had to take paternity. But that didn't work because people kept calling me Glenn, and they problems always happen and arise, and people need guidance on what they should do before they have the nervous breakdown. But yet you fire them to have the nervous breakdown for you. But not all of them were like that. But anyway, so I really didn't get a paternity leave, but it was difficult trying to juggle everything. So credit to all you parents out there who I forgot, because I have 2 older boys, but I forgot what it's like to have infants and try to juggle everything at once and move forward. And yet, your attention has to go to that infant. Also, my mother was here. Glenn, as you know, she's got dementia. So now I'm taking care of an infant and a toddler, but not that I regret it, but it was a lot of work. So again, it gave me time once we put her to bed and put the baby to bed, and to work on some of the books. So I actually completed 10 books that are going through review, rewrite, checks. One finally got published. And I know you love this book, Glenn, because it's right up your alley. It's called Illuminating the Path. It's all about the teachings of Jesus, unveiling the teachings of Jesus. And I pick on Glenn because Glenn has a lot of, how would you call it? You're atheist. Right? Or is that how you would describe it?
Yeah.
So you're pretty much going to hell.
Yeah.
In a handbag.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky. That bag will burn as you get your way down there. But hopefully one day we can turn him around and get him walking in the right path. But it's not that he's a bad guy. He just has, like a lot of people, we all have some.
I love how you say that like it's a flaw.
Well, it's not a flaw. Like some people.
He's a great guy, but he's a little special.
He's a little special. He just doesn't know Jesus yet. And sometimes people are afraid to, not maybe you, but they're afraid to. And that's why I worked on this book, because it is tough understanding, opening up a Bible and say, hey, I'm going to understand these parables or these metaphors. And that's what I kind of did, is unveiled the metaphors and parables of Jesus and his teachings. But if you look at a lot of his metaphors and parables, a lot of them are used in business. So you can relate a lot of this to also your business, your life, and spiritually. So I did it. It's 3 pages on each parable, according to what Matthew had witnessed and documented. It's a great way to introduce yourself without getting yourself too overwhelmed with each parable, but taking an easy step in understanding it, whether you're religious, whether you're not religious, whether you're using it for yourself or for your leadership. The book was for me, but I ended up wanting to share it with other people. And you know what? I'm not a theologist. What do they call them? Theologian. See, that's why I'm not a theologian, because I can't say the word. I don't claim to be an expert, but I share with what I know. And you know what? With anything else, I'm always going to keep learning. So I'll probably keep adding to new additions as we go along. But this was a great start for anybody who's getting a start. So the next book I got coming out is the 2nd edition to Unwrapping Your Gifts, which is a lot more exciting. It's based on leadership as well and self-help. Following that book is Rhythm of Success, because that talks about verbal and nonverbal skills. And we'll be covering all these books and their teachings, but that one is about how we meet people today. Before, we used to meet in person off the dot, right? Today, where do you meet people? Online.
Tinder.
Tinder. And you don't even know if you're meeting that person. That's
really
so. And that's what that book talks about, is like, are we really meeting who you are verbally, non-verbally, what you post and who you are? When people meet you in person, is that who you really are and what your beliefs are and what you represented? Because you ever see some of these hotel rooms, Glenn? Hotels, when you're booking a vacation, They show this
Yeah.
big, beautiful room, and they show this big, beautiful pool and
Yeah.
all this great amenities. But when you get there, the pool is about the size of your tub.
There's a dead hooker in your room.
Yeah. If it's not hanging in your closet. And then, it's roach infested and there's bed bugs. I mean, it's not what you saw in the picture.
Mm.
And a lot of businesses are like that too. Restaurants, they show all this beautiful food and how they serve it and how it's presented, but yet when you get there in person, tables are dirty, places are dirty, people are rude. So we talk about how really important it is to, when you use social media, whether I'm ever going to meet you in person or not, what is your verbal, nonverbal saying? And if eventually I'm going to meet you in person, what is your verbal and nonverbal saying? And when I meet you and I have a true encounter with you, is your verbal and nonverbal match what I met online?
That's the other book you wrote, isn't it?
That's Rhythm of Success.
Yeah, but you did you did another edition of it though.
No, the first edition I did was a CD of that, but
This is your third edition,
that was
then.
20 years ago
Yeah.
when we used to actually meet in person.
Right.
But in my industry, the beauty industry or any industry now, people will go on and look at your reviews first.
Mm-hmm.
They'll look you up. They'll look at your postings.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to do homework on you before they get the opportunity to meet you in person. And if they do give a chance to meet in person, are you making that right impression? Is it the same person that they met online that drove them to come to your company or to hire you?
Mm.
So basically, that's what that one's about. And one's on mental health and how to deal with that. As I dealt with mental health for many years throughout my life. Browser lost connection there.
What happened?
Where are we?
The hell?
Take 156. Somehow the computer just on us, and so did the camera. So if we see a little hiccup in this, it's because we got booted. Maybe I was talking too much and it said enough. It was like the Grammys. It just kicked me off the stage. But anyway, just like I said, it's the things that we've been working on. I'm excited about the new book. It's already sold over 1,000 copies, getting some 5-star reviews. So I'm excited. But once again, it's not about me. It's about helping others. And it's helping me. And I hope it's helping many others as they discover whatever it is they need to get to wherever they're going. And if you're like me, I'm a very faithful man. And as I get older, I get more faithful and closer to God because I know I'm getting there.
Isn't that convenient?
It's very convenient. And let me tell you something. He has a saying in there that I read is the last are first and the first are last. So it doesn't matter where you come in, the last or first, as long as you accept him as your Savior and your Lord and believe he is the Son of God. Heaven, here I come.
If you also got to do, you're last.
Well, listen, you still got to do some good things and help others. It's not about you. But anyway, we're going to get into that another time. We could talk about religion. I got some great friends who are actually expert in the theology field and the religion side. And because I still got plenty of questions. So myself, we're always growing. If we think we know it all and we think we know, take the quick exam. Where is God? Everywhere. If you get baptized, you go to heaven. If you believe, there's more to it than that. And
I could get into that.
And I know you can, and we can have some great debates on that. But here's the thing: I'd rather believe and not believe in, I feel like. Anyway, I can get into it, but I feel good knowing my Savior and my Lord. So I'm happy with that. Whatever you want to believe, I'm not going to force on you. Please, I'm not here to, overstep my bounds with any of you out there. Everybody has a free will, a free choice, and or their own beliefs. I'm just sharing some of mine. So that's the book I wrote, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, like I said, I got some other ones coming out, and I hope you really, really enjoy them. But we want to take some of these books, like, Unwrapping Your Gifts, Glenn, which are 30 steps to what successful people do. And what I mean by successful is happy people. Success doesn't mean just money. But one of the first things I put in there was stop procrastinating. I don't know about you, but I'm a great procrastinator.
So am I.
Actually, I was so good at it. I could have probably taught how to be the best procrastinator in the world, but I had to change my ways. And don't get me wrong, I'm still not perfect, but life is a lot better since I don't procrastinate as much as I used to. My father used to call me Mr. Tomorrow. I don't know about you, but
I can see Bobo saying that.
Yeah, he was like, "You're Mr. Tomorrow" in Italian, because every time he asked me to do something, I said, "But tomorrow, I'll get it done tomorrow." And a lot of us do that now with bills that we got, or a book we want to read, or maybe a vacation we want to take, or I don't know, anything tomorrow. But in the meantime, we think we're just taking it easy till tomorrow, but we're actually stressing out even more. Do you find yourself doing that when you procrastinate?
Yep.
Thank you for your answers. Yep. Nope. Well, I mean, how do you feel? Explain to me how you feel when you find yourself
procrastinate.
Well, yeah, when you know you got something to do, but you're putting it off till tomorrow, but you're trying to relax. Are you really relaxing?
No, because you're doing nothing but you're thinking about it all the time.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. You're constantly thinking about it. So the thing is you have to remind yourself of the feeling you get when you get it done. It's the same thing with working out, right? Everybody procrastinates to work out. But when you have to remember what you feel like when you're done working out. Yeah. And that's why you're doing it in the first place.
Here's the problem. It's getting started. I remember, getting started to go to the gym is hard. Quitting is easy.
Yes.
I remember you used to go to the gym and I would talk about procrastination. At one point, I used to sit in the parking lot and I'd say, after the cigarette, I'm going in. That's when I used to smoke.
After the cigarette.
After the cigarette. Then I would make that too, but that was the 80s. But I that's not who I am anymore. But no, I would make a phone call, while I was sitting in the gym parking lot, having a cigarette. And next thing you know, while I was on that call, I'd have another cigarette. And then when I hung up with that call, I still had to finish my cigarette. So I would make another call. And that vicious cycle went on for about an hour. And I'd wave to people going in, people coming out. Actually, you could say I was doing cardio in the car with the cigarette smoking.
Really?
It was getting my heart going. But eventually I was just like, nah, just go home because I got to get ready for work anyway. But at least I drove to the gym. But was I getting healthier or worse? I was getting worse. But when I actually, it's just take that one step. That one step, even with bills. I don't know about you, but people, you get a stack like this. It's no different than the gym. If you just take that one step, that one bill, and say, I'm just going to pay this, you have a little less stress on your plate. Because you know what? The mail's still going to come tomorrow. And you're going to get more bills or more letters. And sometimes we're afraid to see what's going to be in that envelope. I think procrastination comes to sometimes because we're depressed about something. Yeah. Would you say that would be it? Well, we got other thoughts.
Sometimes.
Maybe not depressed.
Sometimes it can be because of depression, but I think it's just because you don't want to do it. I just think it's just something like I have been working out regularly since high school, but to this day, I don't like doing it. And I get up at 6 a.m. to work out. Every morning I have a debate with myself. I actually have an argument in my head.
I think everyone does.
Right, yeah. Because first of all, it's
who's going to win?
Right, yeah, right. And you come up with every single justification for why you shouldn't. Well, I got if I work out at this time, I don't know if I'm going to be done. Today's back and buys. It's a longer day. I don't know if I'm going to be done in time for. I got to go to this thing, or
it might rain. It's going to rain today. I should go. It's going to really pour. Maybe I should go on a date. It doesn't rain. Yeah. But no, we can go on with excuses forever.
I just don't think I think you don't like doing it. You can be depressed, sure, but I think it's a lot of it.
I just think we don't want to do it. We're procrastinators, and we always have been. But the feeling procrastination would bring is depression, anxiety, fear, pain. And I mean, to procrastinate on something would bring me more damage, more hurt internally, mentally, physically, than if I got the friggin' thing done. So today, there are a couple things I procrastinate, but not like I used to. So by just getting a couple of things done, just do this at home. Just maybe you got a stack of mail like this. Just pick out 1 or 3 envelopes and just open them. 2 of them might be junk. 3 of them might be junk. Or it might be a check in there waiting for you. Or it might be one bill that you just have to take care of. But you know what? That pile starts to go down because tomorrow morning you're going to get a bigger pile. We like to turn on the TV, and it's going to take discipline. Don't do it. Don't turn on the news. Don't get caught up in all that. Just say, I am going to take 10, 15 minutes to just do X, Y, and Z. Even if it's at the gym or even if it's your weight at home, just force yourself. I guess that's the best way to say it, which, procrastination, it's hard. It's like there's like an invisible shield or person just holding you like this, like, no, don't go. You're going to be too healthy and we're not going to rest anymore.
Yeah.
Don't pay that bill. You're not going to have nothing to worry about. But I'm going to challenge you all because procrastination is something that does hurt a lot of people. And what's important, what's not important in the beginning, you can figure that out later. Let's do what's extremely important. Like you got to pay the light bill, or your lights go off, compared to maybe going shopping for a shirt. Let's take care of that first. But as you start to break the cycle of procrastination, you'll start to learn that there are urgent things you need to get done. Everything's important. Everything. So you look at what's urgent. What needs to be done today that if I don't do it today, it's going to be big consequences tomorrow. At least I got that out of the way. And then I can move from the important back to urgent. If I could just start that a little at a time, or you could start that a little at a time, you'll feel less pressure, less anxiety, less pain, even though that gut will still be there full of butterfly, knowing that you have other things to do. You will have less of that feeling if you just get a few things started. So I would challenge you tomorrow, tonight, whatever. Don't turn on the TV. Don't do anything, or maybe turn on some music that's fun and just put a little pile in front of you of something that you've been procrastinating, or maybe it's washing your clothes. Or putting them away. I have a family member who procrastinates doing laundry, but then when they do it, they don't fold it, so they don't know which is clean, which is dirty, so they have to do all of it all over again. And this vicious cycle goes on over and over, and they're cleaning the same clean clothes. And then they're trying to sniff what they can wear for the next morning. It's like, yeah, this one smells fresh, but I'll clean it when I get home.
That's a guy thing. That's totally
no. I know a lot of women who,
really?
Oh my God. Come on, we can think of one and we won't mention her name.
Hey.
Yeah. So basically, it's laundry. Listen, you don't have to watch the wash machine spin and wash your clothes. It's as easy as throwing it in. If you look at it this way, you put your detergent, you hit clean, and then go do what you want. Maybe pick up a bill, but you don't have to sit there and watch, because people are like, oh, I have laundry to do. Oh, I have so much laundry to do. It's like, yeah, but you don't understand. I have time to do you don't have time to do laundry. That's all you have to do is throw it in the wash machine. I don't care if you put detergent or not, just turn it on and you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
The machine is. And it takes about an hour to wash your clothes, right? So in that hour, you can do many things.
I don't have to worry about
return some calls.
That's what my wife is for.
Yeah. Okay. I bet you she was here, you wouldn't be saying that. And plus you're not married. So
hey.
No, let me tell you something. If my wife throws something in the laundry, I know she's busy with the baby. I'll throw it in the dryer, or vice versa. I know it goes in the washer. She'll throw it in. People are always, this is a man's job. This is a woman's job. So that's why they procrastinate too. That's not my job. I took out the garbage as a man, but that laundry ain't my job. So that's why it's backing up. No, bullshit. It's a shared job. There is no such thing as this is my list, unless it's delivering a baby. That's when I don't take the job. That looked too painful for me. Today, but my hormones did change. I'm having some mood swings.
Anything's possible today.
And I think I'm going through menopause. But anyway, no, it's simple. Listen, she takes out the garbage. I take out the garbage. If I see she's busy with the baby, because, having a new child. You're feeding constantly. You're changing diapers. I can't breastfeed. I tried, but she won't let me have any. My wife, she only let the baby eat. So I'm sorry, but anyway, while she's feeding the baby or changing or whatever, I'll do whatever needs to be done. Cook dinner. I'm busy too. But listen, she's busy too. There's a lot of work that goes behind that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that till they have a kid. And then they'll say, well, I can't breastfeed, so there's no way I can help. Well, yeah, you can. You can vacuum. Maybe you can help do the laundry. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do that you don't have to, you're not, you know, you're not held back from doing it. So, but once again, you're waiting for somebody else to do something. And what is that called? Procrastination as well. When you know you can get it done yourself. Oh, well, she was supposed to take it to the post office. Well, maybe she or he was busy, or they or them were busy. I don't know why I threw that in there, but I want to be correct here. But here we go with that. But it doesn't matter. Whoever is busy, you could take that to the post office. I think we create our own problems when we procrastinate, because we like to blame other people when we can help out. We like to assume that it's not our responsibility, and that's why we're in the situation we are today. Even including myself, I find it easier that it was easy to blame other people. Well, I didn't know that they didn't do this. I didn't know they didn't do this. Well, if I took time to just ask rather than wipe it out of my brain, why? I didn't feel like it, and I had all the time in the world. So it's a thing that does go with procrastination as well.
Yeah, I think if people looked at procrastination like, first of all, it's normal. I think that's the first thing that everybody needs to understand.
Oh, I procrastinate when I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
it's normal.
It's normal. Procrastination is normal. It's a part of human existence. It's a part of the human psyche. It's when they start saying it's not normal. It's like when they try to make working out fun. It's not fun. Working out is something you got to do. It's a chore. You got to do it. The sooner you get that through your head, the easier it's going to be. But when it comes to procrastination, the problem is people think it's not normal, so they think they need to. Just realize there's certain things you just don't feel like doing, so you're not going to do it. You're going to fight with yourself, and
there's a lot of things I don't feel like doing, but
right.
I
But that's all it is.
to do
That's
it.
all it is.
But you know what? If we have that mentality, things get worse, and so do we. And when procrastination, believe it or not, can cause a lot of health problems.
Yes. If you go too far, if you right, you have to learn how to deal with it. Everybody has their little things they got to deal with.
Everybody's got a little procrastination in them.
You got to deal with it. You got to figure, like with me, I figure it out. Every morning, I have the little debate with myself. First thing I do, I get up, I go to the bathroom. While I'm going to the bathroom,
this is a debate you have with yourself. But anyway, when you go into the bathroom, but go ahead.
But I have my little argument. I have my little, two lawyers in my head debating whatever in court. And then I realize, no, all right, stop it. I just tell myself, stop. You need to do this, because if you don't, you're going to feel bad later. And also, there's been times when I'd get up and I go, I'm going to sleep for another hour. And then I'm going to get up. And then I'm going to...
That makes you more tired.
Right. And then I'm going to get up and then I'm going to work out. Yeah. Never happens. I get up and I go, that's too late now. I got to make breakfast. I got to start the day, blah, blah, blah. So I think if people
see the excuses.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
No, people, I'll tell you what the key is. People need to think ahead. If you think in the moment, you won't do it.
But I can't think ahead till tomorrow because I'm too tired right now to think ahead. That's procrastination. Right. That's procrastination. I mean, how many people say, I don't want to think about it till tomorrow?
Well,
I don't want to talk about it right now, Glenn.
Well, then
I don't want to think about it. Well, here's the problem. That's the excuse every day. Well, here's the thing. Take out a piece of paper right now, just real quick. Why we're together? Just let's do this together. I want you to put 1, 2, 3. I don't care if you just mark one thing, but what's the one thing you've been procrastinating on? The one thing that you need to change. If you get 2, 3 or more, that's great, but don't too much, because if you see too much, you're going to be overwhelmed. Like even when it comes to losing weight, say number one is I gotta lose some weight.
That's the biggest thing.
Okay, that's the biggest thing. Well, that comes with working out. So you could say lose weight. Now let's do a couple A, B, and C's of what I need to do to lose weight. Now make that achievable. Here's the problem. I got to lose 50 pounds. And people try to do it in a week. And I'm no longer going to eat X, Y, and Z. Rather than saying, you know what? I'm going to go work out for at least a half hour or go for a nice little walk. Forget the workout. I don't work out. I strength train. I'm not there for more than a half hour to 45 minutes.
That's a
okay. And that gives you some cardio in that. I got to have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but also there's got to be portion control in that, which I know. So, and my goal is to at least lose 1 pound this week. Should be 1 pound a month, but because it didn't take you 1 week to put on 50 pounds. Right. It took you a while.
Right.
So it's not going to take you 1 week to get it off. And if you are successful in getting like all these commercials, lose weight in a hurry, take this shot. These people that are taking these, what's it called shot there? It starts with an O, Ozempic, whatever it is. As soon as they stop, yes, it's preventing them from eating. Now you're starving yourself. Okay. Because you found a solution, right? I'm going to take this medication. But a lot of them first of all, a lot of people got sick. And the people who have stopped it, once they stop, what do you think they got a craving for?
Food.
And what kind of food do you think they have a craving for?
Bad food, junk food.
Every food they couldn't have that they told themselves they couldn't have. You could still have McDonald's. You could still have one, but you don't make them your snacks and your meal at the same time and overeat it. Once in a while, yes, treat yourself. But if you're going to have a Big Mac fries and a soda, well, is that your lunch or is that your snack?
I think people know how to eat. I don't think you need to be a nutritionist to know how to eat. I think people know exactly how they should eat. The problem is it all boils down to discipline. If you, at the end of, there's no magic pill.
It comes to procrastination. Because I'll tell you,
that's what discipline is. Discipline will get you out of procrastination. Because that's the thing. At the end of the day, in the morning, when I have my little argument with myself, what do I end up doing? I work out.
When you argue with yourself, do you beat yourself? Do you punch yourself, threaten yourself, or anything? No.
But I end up doing it. At the end of the day, it's like I argue, but I do it because the discipline kicks in, and I'm honest with myself. I go, okay, all right, let's get real. And it's then it's like that honest voice that comes in. It's like the third person, right? You're arguing with yourself, but then that third person comes like, okay, both you quit it. All right, this is the real you here. This is, you're going to be pissed off if you don't work out.
I've been in the obese family. I lost 100 pounds.
Yes.
And that's because as I started to get heavier, my diabetes kicked in and my stomach stopped working.
Yeah, you had to. It got to a point
and I got rushed to the hospital.
Right.
So I had to lose the weight, which I lost the diabetes and everything. But there are situations that I will say my weight was also due to the fact that I was on heavy medications that really blew me up. Yes. Now and made me very hungry. So there's no excuse there, but it is part of what happens to people. There are medications that blow them up. It's hereditary. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things here that we're not saying that people purposely get heavy, or we're not even saying being heavy is the point. Being healthy is the point. Now, for me, it was being heavy, eating a lot. So I used to procrastinate my diet because every Monday, Glenn, I used to start a diet. Every Monday, because the weekend I get to eat everything I can eat. I'm going to eat this and I'm going to eat that. I'm going to stuff my face because come Monday, I'm not going to eat those things anymore. Well, Monday comes and I'm doing really good. Tuesday, I'm doing really good. By Wednesday, I'm getting a little cravings. So I cheat a little bit. And when I start cheating is when I feel that I failed. And once I feel that I failed, I said, well, you know what? I failed my diet. So starting next Monday, I'm going to start my diet again. But this whole week, I'm just going to eat what I can. And I kept doing this repetitively to the point where I gained 100 pounds, and because I was procrastinating. And then if I tripped, I thought, okay, I made a mistake. it's okay if you trip. Just don't pick up and think you have to start from the beginning. Pick up where you left off. It's like, okay, today I screwed up and had a few candy bars. Tomorrow I just won't. Not that you have to start all over again.
Yeah.
It's not like you're making a movie or whatever.
Right.
You got to start the scene over again, or doing a podcast where we have to keep doing it over and over. But no, we just take it and wing it.
Yeah.
But understand, make it, number one, make it achievable. Give me one, just one. Not me. Give yourself one favor, one thing you can stop procrastinating on. Is damaging. Could be a relationship that you need to break up with. It could be giving yourself into faith, and you've been procrastinating on that. It could be working out. It could be an apology to someone. I mean, one thing that has really affected you, that if you just stop procrastinating and maybe confronting somebody and just get it out of the way, whether it hurts or it doesn't hurt, you're going to feel a whole lot better. So start off with that. And then the next day, write the next thing down till you complete it, okay, to the fullest. But once you get started, make it a note, write your, what do they call that? A journal of the success on that thing that you started. Yeah. And you'll see that if you do that every day for 30 days, it starts to become a habit. Will you slip? Will you fall off the wagon? Drinking, drugs, whatever. Maybe. Seek help if you need it. But know that this is destroying my life. And I'm procrastinating, whether it be paying the bills, doing mails, cutting the lawn, cleaning the house, taking care of myself, maybe getting some professional help, whatever it is. Procrastination is the number one thing we all have to work on. Is there an order of what makes your life better? No. But I believe procrastination has led to a lot of people not getting to where they want to go. And it could be maybe learning more about a certain subject or about what they do at work, rather than, they do more bitching at work about with the promotion they're not getting, but they're procrastinating on learning the position they want. They're bitching about the title that they're not getting, but they're not getting the knowledge they need to work on because they've been procrastinating on the position and the title they want. You can't just get entitlement. Once again, people procrastinate on getting what they want. They just expect it today. I don't expect to just wake up and lose weight. That's what Oceanic is for. Oh, I don't have to procrastinate. All of a sudden, you get all these things that are just Instagram alone. And I'm on Instagram. Glenn, I don't know. Are you on social media?
I'm on Instagram, but I want to I can't wait until it's just done.
Yeah, but you notice like all the false, like get rich, get healthy schemes they have on there,
Well, that's what's confusing people.
Yeah.
See, that's confusing. It's confusing. I see it all the time. I see these things pop up. There's that guy that he's like he looks like a model, but he always shows up. I don't know if you've seen him, but he goes, "If you think cardio burns calories, think again." You remember that guy?
No, it's carbs. Yeah. It's carbs. He's saying you can have all the pizza you want. You can eat carbs all day long.
His two things are carbs, and then the other one is you can run. You don't have to ever run. And I was curious at what this guy was like talking about, because I'm like, I'm really curious what this guy's advertising. So I looked at his little pitch video, and this bullshit. There was cardio. It's just not as much cardio, which I agree with. He goes, you don't have to run 50 miles a week. Of course you don't. No one's saying you got to run 50 miles a week.
But if you're going to have 10 dishes of pasta, you better run at least 10.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, first of all, like someone like me who I get bloated if I eat a peanut. Seriously.
I get bloated watching you eat a peanut.
Right. And so my Siri's going off for some reason.
It's probably going to give you something about peanut.
Yeah, really. But
another freaky subject.
But that's the thing. People are so confused on social media, because I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm not saying, well, I'm confused, I'm going to go get a Big Mac. I'm saying that I see this stuff and I'm like, okay, you got this guy saying eggs are bad and he's a doctor. Then you got this other doctor saying eggs are great. Okay, you're both doctors. Who do I believe? You both look very credible. You're both presenting good points or whatever. I think it's bullshit that eggs are bad for you. Eggs are great. It's like one of the best foods you can eat. But the fact that you have a doctor saying they're bad and a doctor saying, actually, not even
The only
saying
thing
they're
bad
good.
about eggs is laying them. But other than that, they're great to eat.
Where's the thing? You gotta press the thing.
Wait.
Ready? No.
No,
Yeah, there
there
you
you go.
go.
No, what was that other one?
There you go.
There you
There
go. You think eating eggs are bad? Try laying them. Hey,
There you go.
so
But it's confusing because people, it's like, who do you believe? What, you don't know what to do. But again, it's not an excuse, because I think at the end of the day,
Come
look
on.
at
first they were telling us
no
to
one
eat.
was overweight back in the day because they just knew how to eat.
Well, of course, but
Right.
back then they said eat eggs, bacon, and this, and you're gonna be fine. Then they're saying, oh, you're all gonna die. This is the baby boom. I don't know, you were after the baby boom, but what baby boomers like me,
Yeah.
young baby boomer. So anyway, the thing is, they told us to eat eggs, this and that, and this. The longest living generation is the baby boomers. Millennials are dying quicker than baby boomers.
Yeah.
Why? Because they kept messing with your diet, telling you what's first they're telling you it's healthy, then they're telling you it's bad. Listen, your body knows what it likes and doesn't like. If I eat ice cream, my body tells me I don't like it because I'm lactose. And the cost of eating that ice cream, oh my God, right? Not only do I pay, but everybody in the house. But here's the thing. So not only does it retain in my hips or my belly, it hurts me and other people around me, but it hurts me physically. So I know I can't have this food. Listen, if I can have fish and I don't have a reaction, or I can have a piece of meat and I feel good, then I'm going to do that. They told me for so many years, don't eat meat, don't eat steak because of cholesterol. Do you know that because I'm anemic, I have to eat steak? My iron is really low. I can't take iron pills, and there's a reason for that. There's other medications I'm on that I can't take iron pills, but I've been eating a lot of red meat. Do you know my cholesterol has been better because my body was made to eat meat? Now, not everybody's body's made to eat meat. All right. So once again, don't procrastinate going to the doctor. Find out what your blood is, what your cholesterol, what your sugar. First of all, that'll help you cut down on the things that maybe is giving you the bad health that you're receiving. Also, do your own homework. If I eat this, this is people once again procrastinate with this, my own health. When I stopped doing that, I got healthier because I would write down, today I ate this, this, and this. Why do I feel terrible? Then I would process of elimination. And today I added this food in here, which I never ate before. So the next time I just had that food. And if I punished myself, but if I felt that pain again, I knew process of elimination, I could never have that.
Or limit it.
Yeah. Cause you know what? People were like, you got a gluten tolerance. Everybody's gluten in America. What do they call that? They need gluten-free because they're gluten sensitive.
Celiac.
No, but there is people with celiac, but everybody
allergy.
Yeah, gluten, and half of the people don't even have gluten allergies.
Well,
listen, it's the friggin' yeast that's blowing you up.
Well, it's also grain.
And the grain
does it too with me, because with me it's bread. If I eat one peanut or have one bite of bread, I blow up, look like the Michelin Man when I do that.
We went from procrastination to total food eating.
I know, really. Yeah.
And what bloats us and what gives us gas.
But what are the? But you know what though? I think universally, I think that's the, if you look at the two things that people procrastinate on the most, it's health. It's health in general, but it's working out and nutrition.
Well, what's the number one New Year's resolution?
Work out. Go to the gym.
And people procrastinate a whole year.
Oh, yeah.
11 months or 12 months till they get to January 1st to stop procrastinating of not going to the gym.
I saw it all. I saw it all the time when I had my gym. I saw it all the time when.
That's right. You owned a gym.
Yeah. New Year's, people would join. Obviously, you get all the New Year's rush and everything. And then I would see all these people that joined. And I would know right off the bat, I go, okay, you're the serious person. You're the person that's going to whatever. And then you get the people that would come in. They would work out, come in every day for the first week or two, every day, 2 hours.
I was having some memories there.
Yeah. You were one of them.
That was with the shame.
But they come in for like 2 hours. They work out hard. They're sweating. They're just like really getting into it. And if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, oh, good for them. That was for me, that was the red flag that I'm not going to, you're going to come in for about another week. I'm never going to see you again. It's true. They went from 0 or 100 to 0. They came in every day, 2-hour workouts,
which is very unhealthy,
and then
mentally, physically.
Yes, and the thing is, you can't sustain that, and I think that's the biggest thing: is people create unrealistic expectations for themselves.
Well, also too, we allow our depression, our thoughts, to take over and prevent us from doing what we want to do. But we're a victim of our own circumstances. Is that how you say that? I'm a own victim here. Like, we will sit there and let a thought that happened maybe 3 years ago bother us today. That's why we can't go to the gym, rather than to actually help yourself with mental health. And I do suffer from post-traumatic stress. I have suffered through a lot of mental health, and that's not something you get rid of either. Even if you get professional help, you're always working on that.
Sure.
But the one thing I notice is when I stop working out, okay, the health part of it, it's not just about food. My mental health, my mind is clearer. But when I stop working out, I get back into the realm of procrastinating, depression, bad thoughts, just sitting on the couch and not getting anything done and procrastinating. And all of a sudden, I go through these phases. It's called bipolar, and they can make great medicine for that, by the way. Anyway, so I go through these phases, and then I have to sit here and really catch up, which is a lot of stress. But at least I'm aware of it. That's the first thing. Are you aware? Awareness. So I know, how long have we been talking here for? I don't want to keep people too long.
35 minutes.
Yeah. So I would just say, look, when it comes to procrastination, there's some exercises that you can do, and we'll go through them. Actually, can you pull that up, Glenn? The exercises. Chapter number 1 of Unwrapping Your Gifts is stop procrastinating, because that was my thing. Now, this book doesn't go in a certain order. You can go in any order you want. But most people struggle with procrastination. So if we could pull that on the screen, Glenn, that'd be great. So we can talk about some of the exercises. And here's where my age comes in. But it's like a wine press, right? Think of a wine press and how it separates the seeds and the liquids and the skin. You're doing the same thing with a wine press when you're kind of and there's a picture of the wine press right under here. And you can see this in the new book coming out, the second edition. But you see, like, you're putting bills, you're pick up the kids, all the stuff that you need to do in a wine press. And the nice to do's are on the opposite side. In the middle, everything's important. You know that. Everything is important. And then here's the urgent. So when you put everything in, understand, okay, what we talked about before, my lights have to be paid, or I'm about to die because I have a diabetes. Maybe I should work on that, or I have high blood pressure. That's urgent. I need to get to my doctor, figure out a plan. Or, I need to work on this dispute that's happening. I'm not going to put it off anymore because, whatever the case may be. But if you can scroll down just a little bit. So here's the mental picture of the wine press and how we're squeezing things out. And let's get right over to the exercise. Okay, so imagine the task as grapes in a wine barrel, and you need to extract the most valuable juice out of it. And here's how you can use the procrastination
prioritization.
And let's get these glasses clean. Prioritization wine barrel method. So forgive me and how I read so slowly because I am dyslexic and I wrote a book. And it's true, I am dyslexic. People don't believe me when I tell them. So create a list of tasks for tomorrow, including work, classes, and anything else. So you want to create a list of things that you have to do tomorrow. So tomorrow I have to go to work. Now, you're going to procrastinate going to work? You're going to go to work. So just make that list. Just try these exercises. Identify the urgent tasks that cannot be postponed, such as work or essential appointments. Write these on the left must do. So do you understand that? Mm-hmm. So I got to go to work. That's urgent. I got to be there on time. What was the second thing? Maybe I got to be to class on time. I have to show up because if I don't show up and don't take the test, I can't graduate or I won't get the information that I'm supposed to. And what was the other things? Maybe you got a doctor's appointment. Stop procrastinating that doctor's appointment. and canceling it. Write it down and say, hey, I got to go. I got to do this. And that goes in the urgent, because you've had a problem for a while medically, and there's a reason you have a doctor's appointment. It's not just to go in and say hi. There's a reason you made that, or he made that for you. So that's still urgent. Number 3, why don't you go ahead and read number 3, Glenn?
Look at the remaining items in the top list. Are there more urgent tasks that must be done today? Place them in the same column.
All right. So if there is more than 1, 2, or 3, now remember, everything's important, but not everything is urgent. What is urgent today that you need to accomplish? Maybe dropping off that letter at the post office that needs to go to your accountant. Taxes are coming up, right? If you're getting money, you're at the IRS way before your appointment. You're at the H&R Block or whatever. But some people have to procrastinate to the last minute, and then they're feeling all that anxiety at the last minute. But anyway, so don't overwhelm yourself with urgent. Once again, urgent means if it is not done now, today, you will suffer the consequences. That's urgent. There's important things, but this is what's got to happen today. Number 4, since that was easy, go ahead, Glenn.
Assess the list again. Can any task be delegated or postponed to another day?
Stop right there. Stop right there. I want to underline something, okay? Access the list again. All right, so you're going to look at it again, and it says right here, delegate, okay, to another or postpone for another day. Delegate. What can you delegate? What can somebody do for you? Maybe they're going to the post office in your family, and you're the one that's saying, "Oh, because I know people like that. They're like, I got to drop it off. I got to make sure it gets in the mailbox." No, you don't. Just make sure that if your spouse or maybe somebody at work is going, maybe get a receipt or whatever. But if somebody can drop that to the mailbox for you, or maybe go pick something up at the store that you need, delegate. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Most people think that asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength. And if that can pick up some of the things on your plate that you've been procrastinating, ask for help. I don't have a problem with saying, I need help. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Sure, I get faces. Sure, I get well, you're always needing help. You're always needing this. It's not that I'm making everybody do everything for me, but I'm just trying to lessen the load a bit. And there's people that wouldn't mind doing it for you. And then it says, write these in the important column. So things that you can delegate, that are important, need to be done. Maybe they're not urgent. Even if they are urgent, don't be afraid to ask somebody for help. But though the thing that goes under the important column is the things that can wait for tomorrow. It's 6:00 at night. Post office isn't open. It's most offices are closed after 5. Federal offices, banks, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that'll have to go for tomorrow. But just write down that tomorrow you're going to go at this time to the bank and get whatever done. Number 5, the last one of the exercises.
Any tasks that are not time sensitive, such as nice to-dos, should be placed in the right list under the barrel.
So what is a nice to do? Hey, Easter's coming up. Nice thing is I got to buy some chocolates for people. Well, it's not urgent that if I don't go today, I'm going to be penalized for it. So, you can find chocolate everywhere, right? Or whatever it is that you got to do. So maybe I can go tomorrow or the next day. That's on my nice to do list. These are nice to do's. Even if you have to do something for somebody, we tend to do all the nice to do's because they're nice to do and they're fun. But we tend to avoid the urgence and the importance because they're not fun. That's why they end up causing all that stress and that pain. Glenn, if you could, because reading on a small computer is very tough. What's it? Exercise here. Set.
Exercise 3, time estimation. Know how much time each task requires to complete. Understanding the time needed will help you plan your day effectively and prevent overloading yourself.
Here's the one thing. A lot of people think that, oh my God, I don't want to try that. I don't want to make all those phone calls because it's going to take me all day. Well, set a half hour, maybe an hour aside to all the phone calls that you have to do back. You would be surprised if you stay on point, stay to the point. In that hour, I guarantee you can probably accomplish all those phone calls. And I say that because I own and take care of multiple businesses, probably up to 10. And it can seem overwhelming to all the phone calls and lawyers and people that I have to speak to. But actually, I hit that list, make those phone calls, and I look at the time and I'm like, shoot, I got that done in 45 minutes because I stayed on task and I made a list. The list looked overwhelming and threatening, but when I started with number 1, I found myself finishing with number 10, and bam, I was done. Were there some nice to do calls in there? Yes, I didn't even bother with them because I can do that later on today. Right now, I'm in a time zone, and actually I got 15 minutes, so maybe I can do a nice to do call. Okay. So if you can go back to that list, it's time is what we want most. But no, go back down a little bit. I wanted to read that right there, the quote from William Penn. Time is what we want most, but what we use worse. Right? So time is what we want most. If we could have 26 hours in a day, I bet you'd still be complaining you didn't have enough time. You could have 50 hours in a day and you still wouldn't have enough time. But how we use it, we're the worst at. So if we can learn how to manage our time, because people don't procrastinate on sleeping. And sleeping is important, and then you're tired throughout the day. So let's go to number 4.
Review your priorities regularly. Sometimes a task from the important or nice to-dos list may become urgent and require immediate attention. Stay flexible and adjust your priorities as needed.
Review your priorities regularly. Not just, here's the thing, you can't review them just here. I learned one thing about procrastination is you got to write it down.
Yeah.
If you don't make a list, you think you're going to remember, but you don't. So as you do it, mark off number 1. Mark off number 2, and you'll be surprised how much you get marked off as you're reviewing, and you're going to be so, excited about what you've gotten done just by reviewing what you got done, that you're really going to want to accomplish finishing that sheet all in one day. The one thing about reading glasses is when you're looking at you, Glenn, everything is blurry, but when I'm looking here, I can see a little bit better. So you're all blurry right now. But anyway, I'm not going to take them off because I'm going to go back to the screen. And there's a Steve Jobs had a quote. Glenn, you can have the pleasure of reading the quote.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work.
All right. So do your great work, and that's knowing what you have to do and get it done. Don't do work you don't know how to do, or that you don't do for someone else when your plate is already full, So thanks, Steve Jobs, and rest in peace. Anyway, exercise number 5.
After completing your must-do list, reward yourself. Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. This positive reinforcement can motivate you to tackle future tasks with enthusiasm.
Listen, when you're finally done with what you've been procrastinating with, and you're finally done with that list, or you even accomplished half of that list, celebrate it, man. Not a lot of people will celebrate with you. Maybe your spouse who's happy you finally did something around the house, or you took out the garbage, like you said, or maybe cleaned. But, a lot of people have their own problems, and not a lot of people will celebrate with you. If they don't, that's okay. Have your own celebration. Reward yourself somehow. You know what? I got everything done today, so I am going to shut my phone off and take a nice bath, or I'm going to order myself a nice pizza. But if that's not on your diet, don't do it. But you get what I'm saying, is a pat on the back, a high five, or God, go up to somebody that does appreciate you and does listen and say, you know what I accomplished today, and celebrate together. Or maybe make yourself that special meal that you wanted to, because you're going to find out you have more time. But at the end of the day, whatever you consider celebration, that doesn't mean getting drunk to the point where you got a hangover and tomorrow you can't do anything, but maybe you can have a little sip, or maybe a little bit of ice cream or something to reward yourself. But really celebrate that moment. You'll be surprised if you make that list and you check it off and you accomplished the majority of the urgents and got some of the important and even some nice to do's out of the way. celebrate it. And you know what? By celebrating it, you're going to want to do that every day. And just carry a little notebook with you and just write down, I got to get this done. This is something else I got to do. I got to make this phone call. And then prioritize, even just by looking at it, I got to call Glenn and tell him, hey, today we got a podcast. So, I'll meet you there at 3, and I write it down. Because if I don't, guess what? I may forget, start something else. And here Glenn is waiting for me to come. And
son of a bitch.
yeah, exactly. So, and it's happened to us, a lot of us, where we've waited around for somebody, and there's nothing worse than that because they forgot, just do it at that moment. Write down date. This is date and time of this appointment or whatever. I know it sounds easy, but it will become a habit because once you see the rewards that you get from accomplishing what it is that you have to accomplish, you'll want to do it more often. You may not be perfect at it, but you'll want to do it more often because you know the reward you get at the end. Glenn, if you could pop that up just one more time, I want to make sure because there was a quote there from Steve Jobs as well, is the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And you can't love what you do and do great work at it if your mind is too occupied with the things you haven't done. Or if you got work piling up so much, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to have fun at it because now it's going to be extremely hard work. Rather, we all have to go to work. We all have to work at something. I work at cutting the lawn. It's the word is dirty work. It's dirty work. The word is dirty. But it is, people say love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. No, when you work at what you love to do, it's still work. So I love to cook, right? But if I had to do that as a job, would it become love anymore?
No,
it becomes work because I'm trying to please other people who are friggin' complaining. Right. At least if I'm doing a nice to do,
right?
I'm going to keep my hobby separate than my work. Now, I love going to work. I love working with my students. I love working with my staff, but it's work. Yeah. There's a lot of mental stress there. However, if I love to cook, I'm going to go home and cook for my family. I'm not going to turn it into a job because I'm just going to hate it.
Because when it's fun, you can take your time.
Exactly.
Exactly. Take your time.
So, whether that's why get the urgent things out of the way. Put the important things ready to go and take place in the urgents once you fill them. And the nice to-dos, well, if you get time throughout the day because you cleared your list, get to the nice to-do. I hope that helped you out. Glenn, has any of that resonated with you as it did with me? I love reminding myself.
No, it does. Help me out.
Yeah. And I think this will be great that we can split. This is what a baby boomer I am. I forgot we could split the screen and bring up the exercises.
Oh yeah, you can technology.
Well, I have a lot to learn about technology. Maybe that's something I've been procrastinating on too long. But if I got somebody to help me,
this is a phone.
It's a phone. I know I've had to help people set my phone up.
But those are light bulbs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, light bulbs I know, but today you can't just turn on with a switch. You have to turn it on with an app.
You need Wi-Fi.
You need an app for your car. You need an app for the toilet. Flush. Where's flush?
Oh no, the Wi-Fi is out. I can't flush my toilet.
Well, you know what? It's funny because we did get a call once, and I said, "Power's out," in one row. I said, "Well, did you check the circuit breaker?" Here was the response. Where can I find that in the app? I said, "It's not an app. It's on the electrical board."
Oh no!
What is a circuit breaker and what's an electrical board?
No,
because we've been too spoiled with apps and electrical that sometimes we have to take a good. Eventually, everything will be an app, especially with AI coming in. That's another discussion. But it's so sad that thank God we have some people who are left with the ancient age of knowing what a breaker is, and people who know apps. Together, we can work in harmony. But anyway, I'm glad you spent this time with us. I apologize if we threw a lot at you. We just really wanted to talk about what's going to be coming up, but we got talking about procrastination, and I'm glad we did because it just reminds me that I have to go do some work and some things I got to get done. I thank you for joining us today. And Glenn, thank you for always what you do, and may God bless you all. Talk to you soon.